Welcome to this week's Mungle Show. Matt Mungle, Kathryn Ryan, who
Hello.
I just found out today is only 20 years old. I thought you were at least 21.
4 months. Give me 4 months, then I'll be 21.
All right, we need to have your parents sign a waiver to have you be on the show. No, that's pretty funny. But we're here to bring you this week's shows and what's coming up in the movies, and plus our interesting top 5 this week.
Very interesting.
Which, like you said, it all depends on the dynamic of it. So we're going to get more into that as we get into the show. First of all, let's just do a recap of what came out this past weekend. And I have to start with the movie.
I know where you're going to start.
You know, I think the last time you and I were sitting in this very spot,
Exactly
I was
the
getting
spot.
picked on for not wanting to see Paranormal Activity.
Yes.
Because I knew how scary it was going to be, and you're over there going, it's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, turned out to be a little scarier than you thought.
Okay, just a little bit, but even though it scared the pants off me in the theater,
Right.
I was freaked out. But afterwards,
You were able to put them back on in the lobby.
because I know when to let my imagination go back away,
All right.
unlike some who see scary movies.
So that's the key then, is to knowing when to bring the imagination off the track.
I know, and just to
And I
throw
can't do that.
and throwing logic into your brain at that point, like, okay, there's no possible way this could happen to me because this, and this. I would have seen signs of it earlier in my life, and all this kind of stuff.
So you got to be smart.
No, not smart, just rational, Matt. There's a difference.
I can't be rational when it comes to these kind of movies.
Maybe I should watch one with you, and then while we're watching it, say that's not possible because of this.
Right,
Take
but
note of
then that's fine. But then when I get home at night and it's
all those
dark,
things go out the window.
all out the window. I can tell myself all day long, oh, that could never happen, this could never happen. But as soon as the lights are out and it's quiet and my imagination goes, let's see what we can do now.
Then it's totally different.
Right. So what made this so scary, though?
The fact that it all happened, well, at first it all happened when they were asleep, where you can't do anything when you're asleep. It's almost like
Right.
the whole Nightmare on Elm Street, where get the kids in their dreams, where the parents can't help them or they can't help themselves. It's like that because throughout the day, during the daylight hours, you're okay. You're just listening to this couple's conversation about life and the stress that this is bringing on them. But once the lights go off and they set up this little tripod watching them while they sleep, you could hear just all these gasps, like getting all tense and ready for this scary moment that was
Right.
coming up. And they did a really good job of building up those moments where you'd think that it would just be really boring watching people, oh, they're asleep. But no.
Right.
You're nervous the entire time. Just on the edge of your seat, afraid about what's going to happen, wanting to put your hands in front of your face, but I can't because I'm supposed to be reviewing this.
So it takes imagination during it, because they do seem like they play off your own imagination of what is going to come.
They really do, because you hear tons of noises at the beginning, and you just have to assume that, like, oh, it's just a chair, or it's just the wind, but then it gets
Right.
louder and louder and crazier noises, and then you know it's not just
Right.
it's just something, it's someone.
Now, do you ever, not that you would want to give it away, but do you ever find out what it is?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so
You
there's
find
a
out-
closure to it.
You find out early what it is specifically. Like, so they have someone come in and talk to them, and they say, "This is what you're dealing with. It's not my specialty." But once you find out, then it just gets creepier and creepier, because the characters, the way they played off, is wonderful. The girlfriend, so sweet. You just want her to break up with her annoying, stupid boyfriend. He's one of those guys that
Right.
messes with the spiritual realm, like, oh, is that the best you got? Just
Right.
throwing keys on the floor and...
Right. He's just taunting the spirits.
I know. Never do that in that situation, guys.
Yeah.
Never taunt a spirit.
Don't worry. This is one guy that doesn't.
You won't get anywhere near that.
No.
Exactly. So the characters are great. The plot was amazing. Like, it was really good. Like, you believed it the entire way. And it leaves you wondering what's going to happen next.
Right. Now, is it one of these movies where if you watched it again, you would be just as scared? Or do you think now that you've seen it and lived through it and know what isn't coming or what is coming, that it's not as scary?
I think
Is it
it's-
a one-timer?
I don't think it's a one-timer for the sheer fact that it's still going to remind you, hey, when you're asleep, anything could happen.
Right.
Things are happening all around you. You just don't know about it.
I need to know that now. See that
When
right
you're
there
sound
is-
asleep, Matt,
Yeah, I'm
something
gonna be thinking about
could be
you saying
creeping
that.
over you.
I can't edit the show at night now. I'm
Nope.
going to have to edit it in the daylight.
Daylight hours.
Because I'll be linking. She just said that anything could happen. But yeah, I mean, everything in the previews alone scared me. So, well, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad it was at least scary where you didn't walk out going, that was just stupid.
No, it was believable. It pushed close enough to where you'd be like, that's not possible, but it kept it just below that where you kept going with it.
Very good. Again, it's called Paranormal Activity, out in theaters this weekend. And then a movie I saw, and then you went back and just saw it on your own this weekend,
Yeah.
Couples Retreat. And you said you did not read my review.
No, I haven't haven't read it, which I probably should have, considering that it's kind of hypocritical.
Not necessarily, because this is kind of interesting now to see if we had the same take on it, because you might have gone in with some preconceived notions. Because for me, I thought it was really funny at times, but then it tried to get serious, and then the seriousness would take away from the funny. It was just too out of balance for me. And I liked it, but I didn't love it. So I don't know if you kind of got that feeling.
For me, at least, I felt that some of the characters were just dropped off in scenes where you never even knew what was going on with them. There are parts where 3 of the couples are all together, but one of them's just off somewhere. Where did they go? Or they didn't balance out all the characters. And Vince Vaughn was funny in this at parts.
Vince Vaughn was funny, and he does carry himself. And I even mentioned that in my review, that he is his same sarcastic, witty self. I think they just kind of stifled him at times. And him and his wife, of the 4 couples, were the only couple I believed.
I know, I completely believed them as a couple that works. I could see them having 2 kids and being married and working on tiles and renovations.
Right, but the other couples, it was like they just didn't go together. Not even actress wise or character wise, or however they were written. I couldn't believe them at all.
However, the writers put them together. It just didn't fit well. It didn't mold all together.
Right.
So hopefully Hollywood will learn from this.
Hollywood never learns from anything.
They're not watching this show.
It's been 1,000 years since they've been making movies. They never learn. Now, was it boring at times not being married, being a young single at 20? Because, as me being married, I've been married as long as you've been alive.
Oh, my gosh.
And we got our 20-year wedding anniversary coming up. So,
oh, my goodness.
So, for me, watching it as a married person, I'm going to have a different aspect on it than probably you will at 20.
Because you have life experiences, marriage experiences, that I'm just like, okay, I guess that'd be really funny if I was married. And
so that was my question. Did you enjoy it enough as a single person, or do you think it's more of a married person's movie?
I think it's more of a married person movie. There are some parts that are really funny. You can never go wrong with slapstick comedy. That's something that everyone enjoys. But some of the jokes that they had, I didn't understand, with the whole communication and having problems with talking to each other. It kind of went over my head. Even though I didn't want it to, I wanted to understand.
Right.
So maybe if I watch this after I'm married, then I'd be like, oh, now I understand what they were talking about.
Right.
That's what I should do.
So how's the marriage thing looking for you? Anything coming up? Anything we should know about?
No, nothing in the near future whatsoever.
Well, so we've got a few minutes left in this segment if you want to share anything.
Well, guys, I'm single. That's pretty much me right now.
Yeah? You and Brandon should get married. You know him, the guy that plays bass at IBC?
Yeah, he's one of my best friends.
Yeah, why don't you guys get married?
You should run that by him, I guess.
Really?
I don't know.
All right.
I wonder if Brendan even watches this.
I don't know.
It'd be really funny if he did this 1 week. Like, hey, wait a sec.
Like, hey, what's up with that? We just totally put both of you guys on the spot. So, interesting. But again, now, the yoga scene, I think, talking about slapstick, that to me was one of the funnier scenes.
It was so
in the movie.
funny.
Even though it kind of dragged on a little bit and got a little too serious at the end, I think throughout it was just
encouragement. Encouragement. It was funny too because the yoga instructor looked to me just like Ralphie from A Christmas Story, like a grown-up version of him, because he had these really piercing blue eyes, just like the boy had. And I couldn't get past that the entire time, just like, it looks like Ralphie, it looks like Ralphie, it looks like Ralphie. So that really threw me off, so it made it even funnier for me while I was watching it.
Right.
And it was so much slapstick kind of comedy, like it's no witty banter, it's all just
it's all
body.
visual.
Yeah, it's all body.
Yeah, and then, like I said, I think it got a little too serious, and that was the only problem I had with it, was the fact that I think it got just a little bit too serious at times and should have just went for the laugh instead of for the deeper couple marriage stability thing.
Yes, and some things got a little bit too far-fetched for me to believe.
Right.
There were some scenes where I'm just thinking, really? I don't think that would really be how it would play out.
Yeah. So. Absolutely, I agree. So again, Couples Retreat and Paranormal Activity in theaters now. Check out both of our reviews at the website, mungleshow.com. When we come back, we're going to take a look at what's coming out this next weekend and see what it's going to take to make for some good movies coming up. So check out our website, mungleshow.com. Matt Mungle, Kathryn Ryan. We'll be back right after this.